up YouTube? It's your boy Anime Specialist. So this episode was pretty good. I'm not gonna do a long review because this was, I think, the last episode of the second season of Sword Art Online Alicization. So they're gonna go on a break. I'm gonna tell y'all when it's gonna come back. But yeah, man, it was a good episode. It was a good end for this arc, and I'm hype about what's coming next. So obviously the final fight was Kirito versus the Pontifex, and it was a pretty cool fight. One of the things that I like about Sword Art Online is the swords play. So the way that they fight, the way that they use sword skills and everything, that's one of the things that I like the most about this series. How the choreography for the fight and everything, that's one of the things that I love. And there was something pretty weird that happened. Obviously, we know that Kirito's specialty is to use a two-sword style. That's how strong he can become. And when he uses two-sword style, that's when he's the strongest. I don't really understand what happened with Yu-Gi-Oh! Sword. I don't know why it turned red and why it was repaired for a minute. Maybe it's because Yu-Gi-Oh! Just shared some of his blood or flesh to the sword so that Kirito could be able to pierce the Pontifex, because we know that metal can't pierce it, but we know that human swords can. So maybe by giving some of his blood, that's why Kirito was able to pierce the Pontifex with this sword. And Kirito's other sword, I don't remember what Yu-Gi-Oh named it, but his other sword is also not made of metal. You know, it's made out of a tree, so that's why it can't pierce um, the Pontifex. So that was kind of interesting. And one of the things that I like the most about the villains at the end of their reign is how their facial expression when they know that they might die. So that's what I liked about this episode. Obviously, I think the Pontifex was probably the best villain in the Sword Art Online series so far. But just her facial expression was amazing, because we knew that she knew that it was game over. You know, she knew that she was maybe gonna die. It was the end for her. So that's one of the things that I really like about villains at the end of their reign, their facial expression, and just the way that Kirito beat her was incredible. You know, because obviously we know, we saw in this episode that both of them lost an arm. Obviously, we know that the Pontifex lost an arm in last week's episode, so she had nothing. She couldn't use a sword anymore. She kind of used her hair like Jiraiya in Naruto does. So that was kind of funny, because her hair against a sword, come on now, you know. But just the way that Kirito pierced her, the middle of her body, of her chest, was something else. I actually thought that after she was pierced, she was gonna survive, but something fucked up happened at the end of the episode, man. Just before, you know, everything happened with Kirito and Alice and everything, that was pretty fucked up, you know. So the Prime Minister, I think that's his name, we all know that he's obsessed with the Pontifex. I don't know what he really did. I think he probably, before they died, he probably abused her sexually. I'm not really sure about it, but that happened. He's so obsessed with the Pontifex that he actually killed her. So something that I really liked about this scene is the art and the animation. It was different, and I think it was really pretty. You know, I really like this kind of animation for that moment, this art for that moment. You know, it was appropriate, and it just showed us how she was getting burned and everything. So that's why I really liked this sort of animation and art. But anyway, man, I really thought that she was gonna go to the human world. I don't know how she was gonna survive, maybe in a computer or something like that. But I really thought that it wasn't the end of her. I thought that she was gonna be there for a longer time. But yeah, man, the Pontifex is finally defeated. That's the last time that we're probably gonna see her. So she was a great villain, man. I really liked her. She was my favorite villain in Sword Art Online. So respect to her, man. She was a great villain in my opinion. So near the end of the episode, we all saw what happened. Yu-Gi-Oh died, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I didn't really feel anything. I wasn't really sad because I feel like I wasn't invested in his character like that. So it's nothing about the character. It's just me. I didn't really feel anything for that specific character. You know, I feel more about Alice than Yu-Gi-Oh. You know, so um, it's not that it was a it's not that he was a bad character, it's not that it was a bad scene, it's just me personally, you know. Maybe some of you guys are kind of sad that he died or anything, but we all have our opinions. Now that Yuji and Kirito remembers their memory from when they were kids, I'm wondering if Alice finally remembers everything that happened since she was a kid. You know, that would be great. We haven't seen a lot of her in this episode. We only saw her a little bit when Kirito was calling the base, but that's the only thing that we saw from her. I think she's gonna be a really, really important, even more important in the next arc than she was in this arc. So that's gonna be interesting. Whew, so now that's what I really wanted to talk about. So we saw that Kirito called the base, and something really, really bad was happening at the base. There was a foreshadowing, I think, 3 episodes ago, where there were intruders coming near their ship, near the rats, you know. So that was interesting. They were foreshadowing this since a while back, and it happened in this episode, you know. So a group of armed men attacked the base where Kirito, Azuna, and the others are, and that's really bad because Azuna is still in the base. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Hopefully she doesn't die because she's really, really important to the show. You know, she's one of the most popular character in the show. But yeah, man, it's gonna be the next season is gonna be fire, man. I can't wait. So the reason why these soldiers infiltrated this base is probably because they want this new technology, the flux light technology, because it can create artificial intelligence. It can create super soldiers that can be controlled easily. You know, that's probably why they're infiltrating the base. And we all know that Kirito is still plugged in, so it's gonna have a lot of damage done to him because they're gonna cut out the energy and everything. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen to Kirito. And the other thing that I want to talk about is something that they said that was pretty important in my opinion. So I don't remember the name of the guy that is responsible for this experiment, but he's an agent of the government. You all know who I'm talking about. He said that Kirito needs to find a girl named Alice. So we already know who Alice is. So Kirito is already beside her, and he said to bring her to a tower. So that's the only thing that we know so far. We don't know why. Maybe it's his way to get out of the underworld or something like that. I don't know, but it's gonna be interesting, man. I knew that Alice was gonna be important. She's one of my favorite character in the show right now. So hopefully she'll be really, really important. Hopefully we'll see her fight, and hopefully she'll remember everything from her past, you know. But yeah, man, we don't know what happened after that. The soldiers probably took the technology for themselves, and now Kirito is still trapped in this world, you know. And it seems like this world is going berserk because from this image right there, we see all the signs and everything. It looks like Kirito is falling. There's something wrong that's going with the underworld, you know. So I'm just hyped about what's coming next for this series. This season, these 2 seasons of Sword Art Online Alicization has redeemed Sword Art Online, in my opinion, you know. So hopefully we'll see more. And for a reason, Kirito saw Azuna. I don't know if it's because Azuna plugged herself in before everything happened so that she could see Kirito. But yeah, man, Azuna I think is going to be a pretty big part of the next arc. So I'm happy about that. Let me know what you thought about this week's episode in the comments down below. And let me know what you thought about these 24 episodes of Sword Art Online Alicization. I think they were pretty good, especially the second half. of the season, kind of, so I'm happy to say that the next part of the Sword Art Online Alicization series will start this October. I'm not sure what date exactly, but it's gonna be next October. I think the name of the new Sword Art Online season will be called War of the Underworlds. So that's gonna be interesting. There's gonna be a war in the underworld, and Kirito is gonna be a big part of it. So I'm wondering what's gonna happen with Azuna, what's gonna happen with Alice, and everything. That's gonna be really cool, man. But yeah, man, I will keep doing Sword Art Online Alicization videos just to update y'all about what's coming next for this series. Like I said, it's coming back October 2019, the War of the Underworld, so it's gonna be a while. It's gonna come back the same time as Boku no Hero Academia, so this fall is gonna be an awesome season for anime. I can't wait. I really want to know what's gonna happen next, because the way that they ended this anime was, I think, incredible. There was a lot of plot twist, and I can't wait, man. This video was longer than I wanted to make it, but there was so much that I wanted to talk about. I just forgot how much I wanted to talk about, so yeah, man, thank you for watching all these 24 episode review of Sword Art Online Alicization. I think the next part of this series will be even better, the War of the Underworld, so I just can't wait, man. Thank you for watching. There's another new anime that is coming to my channel. It's gonna be on Saturdays too, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, man, I do other anime related things like Black Clover reviews on Tuesdays, and Fairy Tail and One Piece reviews on Saturdays. I used to do Sword Art Online reviews and the Promised Neverland reviews, but for now these two series are over. So there's two new animes that are coming to my channel. The first one is called Demon Slayer. It's coming to my channel next week, next Saturday, so stay tuned for that. And the other anime is Attack on Titan season 3 part 2. It's coming to my channel late April the 29th, I think, so stay tuned for that, man. There's a lot more anime coming to my channel, so I'm excited. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Anime Specialist out. Peace.